So if opening up Canva causes you lots of frustration, you find you waste lots of hours, you think design ought to be easy, but yet when I get in there, start designing things, I find that the time just flies by and I'm getting frustrated, nothing's quite going exactly how I want, all my designs just feel kind of off and I can't quite get it right. And you're thinking to yourself, surely this shouldn't be this difficult. Well, you know what? You're not the only one. Even me as a professional designer who's been doing design for years, I still have moments like these. However, I've learned along the way what the roadblocks are that actually cause this problem. So I'm going to share them with you now to help you when you're feeling frustrated, you feel like the hours are just passing by with design, so you can become more aware and find some different tricks and different ways that makes design easier for you. Now, first of all, overthinking. Now, overthinking probably causes a lot of different issues in life, and that includes design. When you are overthinking it, it's just going to make designing harder. When you're working on a design and start overthinking it, you tend to get stuck because you're really getting in the nitty-gritty of details, trying to perfect something, wondering, am I going the right direction? Should I do this? Maybe that's saying quite the wrong message, or maybe that color should be different, and did I consider all the design rules, and have I doing this right? Maybe it could be better, and all those sort of things. And you just end up going in circles and just never getting it actually done. What's often better when you find yourself getting in these situations, if you realize I'm starting to really overthink this, is to just go simple. Keep your design simple so you're not getting stuck in details. Remember, you don't have to wow everyone and create the most amazing, life-altering graphic every time you create a graphic. It's okay sometimes for graphics just to be simple, as long as they are well designed and communicate your message. You don't need to make sure that your graphic definitely covered every single design rule. You don't need to make sure that your graphic is going to be the perfect thing that goes viral. You just need to make sure that it is well balanced, well laid out, and clearly communicates. So in this situation, what you want to do is start with guidelines. So either using a grid or some simple guidelines like a center line and margins, depending on the complexity of your design. Use them as a guide to make sure that everything is neat and nicely laid out. Put all your content on the page, so your text, your header, your body copy, anything that you've got there that's content that definitely needs to go on it, put it on and start laying it out. Then you want to make sure it's on brand, so make sure you're changing all your brand colors and fonts and everything like that. So now it's all on the page, all the guidelines are there to play around with, and it's on brand. Now what you want to do is just duplicate it. So you're not getting too caught up in getting this one design perfect. Instead, have that layout, everything there on the page. It's like your working file of everything you need that's required to create a design. Then in Canva, just duplicate. You can have within a design several copies of the same page, and each time just go and try a different layout. Try moving things in a slightly different position, maybe different sizes, maybe adding different photos or design elements to it. And then you're not too caught up on just getting this one thing perfectly right. You're freeing it up, just trying a few different things, and you'll probably find that one design just feels like the right one, and you'll go with that. And then maybe you could just make a few tweaks to it to perfect it, but you're not getting too caught up in, I've got to get this particular design so perfect. You're letting go of that and just trying out a few different layouts, using all the ingredients as such to create that design. You could also set up some designs in Canva that you use as just experiment playgrounds, places where maybe you come across some inspiration or you have an idea where you can just play around with a particular design style or some design ideas without the commitment, without saying, oh, I have to use this in my design, but just a place to play around, try things out. So next time that you design something, you've got some different ideas there, and there wasn't that pressure of it had to be perfect, it had to be right, you had to nail it right this first time, but you've got somewhere where you can just play around and experiment, try things out. So if you've been thinking about trying something, just play around with it, have some files where you just experiment and play with it, and then you can go back to them when you create a real design, something that you want to share, and see if there's anything in that you think, actually that's pretty good and I might want to use like an element or a bit of layout there in my actual design. And if you get in a spiral where you get stuck, if you've been overthinking for ages, if a design just feels like it just is not working, or you've just hit a bit of a roadblock where the design was starting to go well, but you sort of got stuck where you're like, I feel like I need to change a few things, or I need to add something, but something isn't quite feeling right now. If you're feeling stuck, the best thing to do is actually just walk away for a bit. It could be walking away for a few hours or coming back to it another day. Often just that fresh perspective of looking at it again with fresh eyes when you haven't been sitting in front of it for hours on end can just really help you see it with new fresh eyes. You almost see it like from an external perspective, and you'll probably find that you suddenly can fix it up, make it better really quickly, because you've given yourself yourself that chance to mull it over, come back with fresh eyes, and then work on it and create something better. So notice when you've been staring at it for too long and it's time to just walk away, take a break, and come back later. I do this all the time whenever I've got stuck on something where I feel like it's okay, but it's not quite right. I feel like it could be better. I usually just leave it and come back another day. And often when I come back, I create something way better. Now, if you are DIYing your own brand graphics, you know all too well how hard it is to design for yourself. Even professional designers say that designing for themselves is the hardest thing. Designing for a client can feel so much easier than designing for yourself. And yes, part of it is it's easy to look at someone else and figure out them, and harder to sort of reflect on yourself and figure out yourself and that sort of thing. But I think part of it too is also the lack of boundaries. So when you look at somebody else and you're designing something for them, you sort of have a picture in your head of this is their style, this is who they are. You know, you've created an image and a category of who this person is and what their business is all about. But when it comes to yourself, you tend to bring all your baggage along. You tend to think of everything about who you are, your personality, your experiences, basically your whole entire life story. And then you're trying to figure out how to put that into design. Now, obviously, that is why it's going to feel very hard to do. We feel like we need to express so much of who we are, as if we need to pour out our whole soul into our branding. But really, we don't. We don't need to absolutely capture our whole essence in our brand. Instead, we need to basically treat ourselves like a client and categorize ourselves and basically create the boundaries of what our brand should be expressing, what it should be communicating, what elements of us and our business should it communicate, rather than trying to tell everything. Remember, in order to buy from you, people do not need to know every aspect of your personality and everything about what you do and what you're interested in. So why would they need that in your brand and your graphics? You need to really think about your customer for a minute. From their standpoint, what would they want to know about you in order to buy from you? What aspects of you would be helpful to them? What would they relate to? And what really speaks to them in terms of what you are offering them? So really take the time to get clear on what you want your brand to communicate. Don't just think, I love this and I love that and there's this about me, and trying to put it all in. Instead, actually think, what should my brand be communicating? Who is it communicating to? And how can I express those things in my brand and graphic? Remember, your branding is not your diary, it is your business. So we need to treat it from a business perspective of just what aspects of who I am and what I offer do I actually want to bring into that visual communication. Once you do this, designing for your own brand gets so much easier because you have set boundaries in terms of what it needs to communicate, rather than trying to express your whole soul through your brand. And related to this is an overall lack of limitations. Creativity thrives on limitation. When you have limits, you're going to be more creative because you have to work within those bounds, because you have to think about how you can creatively create something with those limits. And the possibilities are just endless. You just feel stuck because you can go so many different directions that it's just basically overwhelming because anything is possible. So boundaries and limitations actually force you to design better. It makes you problem solve because you've got to think, well, within these limitations, within these boundaries, how can I create a good design? And so you'll actually design better by having some limitations. So a handy thing to do if you're feeling very overwhelmed with endless possibility when you go to create a design is write yourself a brief. What is it that you're trying to communicate here? What is the brand identity that you're using? What is the objective and who is it for? So really getting clear about what is the actual aim of this, and then working within those boundaries. You can even look at things like, what are the dimensions? So what platform is it going to go on and what dimensions does it need to be? What size should the text be so that it is readable? The more limitations you set, the easier it's actually going to be to design because you've got to work within those limits and there's less decisions. So there's not all this decision fatigue of there's so many possibilities. You've just got to work within this set of rules and then be creative within that. Another thing that can become a huge roadblock in design is trying to imitate a style that just isn't you. Now, of course, it is fun to experiment with new styles, try new things, but if you're trying to force something that just isn't you, that can often lead to a bit of a struggle because you're trying to be something that you're not. If you find something that you admire, a trending style, something that you think will go really well, but it doesn't really align with you or doesn't feel like it just comes naturally to you, then you may feel like it's forced, it may feel clunky because it's not quite you and your style, and you may find it hard to create in that style. Because while it is great to stretch yourself, explore and try new different styles to try and find your own style and also just develop your design skills, sometimes a particular style just isn't the right fit for you. You're trying too hard to step into something that just isn't you, and you're struggling to even embody it, trying to get in the mindset of somebody who's really into that style or really capture and understand what that style is all about. And so it feels clunky, it just feels like it isn't coming naturally. It can be really hard to get beyond just pure imitation where you just copy another graphic in that style because you don't fully really get that style. You might be trying to put on a shoe that just doesn't fit, and that's only going to lead to frustration. With any kind of design, starting is really the hardest part. Getting into a design flow state so the creativity rolls and you really get in the flow of it all and you just get in the zone is really the goal. That's when you start to really design well and it all starts flowing and everything feels like it's coming easy. But often it's that starting point where you're stuck, where it's hard to get into that flow. So if you ever feel stuck where you've got a blank page and you just don't even know where to get started, or you start designing something and it just feels a bit silly or a bit off and you're just like, I just can't get started and get in the right flow with this. And here's a few things you can try to get unstuck in these situations. First, you want to get clear inspiration. If you're just going off instinct, a vague memory of something, then you probably need a proper mood board, something that's going to be able to sit there to really get you in the zone for the style and feeling and everything that you're trying to create. So if you are feeling stuck of where do I even start here? I've got this sort of general idea in my head of what I want. It might be a good idea to actually create a proper mood board. Go and look for some inspiration, put together a whole nice mood board. Don't just go off one piece of reference. So if there's just one graphic you've come across, you're like, I feel really inspired by that, I want to create something similar. That's probably getting you stuck too, because you're trying not to completely copy them, but you want to create something that's similar feeling. This is when you really need a mood board, something that captures a lot more than just one source of reference. So you want to have lots of things that sort of bring that feeling and vibe that's really going to inspire you and get you started. It can be also really helpful to experiment, like I mentioned before about the Canva playground, having somewhere to just experiment and try out different things, because often to get into flow state, you sort of have to get the bad stuff out first. Now, I call this the pancake method, because often when you cook pancakes, that first pancake doesn't turn out so good. Maybe the pan wasn't quite the right temperature, or, you know, the ingredients weren't quite mixed right, or whatever it was. Usually that first pancake just can be a bit of a flop, and then you get in a bit of a flow, it's all working, and the rest of the batch turns out great. Well, it's similar with design. Sometimes you have to get some really bad designs and bad ideas out of your system to just get yourself in flow. So don't put that pressure on yourself where the first thing you design, what you're creating, you have to get it right, has to be perfect. Sometimes the best thing to do is make some flops, make some bad designs just to get yourself in that design flow state of just designing some things. Remember, not everything you create has to be shared. So if you're just feeling stuck, just do something. Start putting something on the page, even if it's terrible. Then duplicate the page, make a new page and try again until you get something that is starting to head the right direction. This often loosens you up too, because you're not feeling pressurized and you're also just playing around with different kinds of things. It's like, what if I did this, or what if I did that? And so you're not like, I've got to get this one particular design right. Instead, let's just try a few different things and see how we go. And then something might be like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's work on that particular thing. So it really loosens you up to design better. Another great thing is using a template. This means that you're not starting completely from scratch where the page is blank. You've got something to get you started. Now, you might want to create your own templates that are on brand, where you just tweak and change things up to fit your content, so you're never starting from nothing. Or you might want to purchase some templates, which, by the way, I do sell. And these are going to give you a great starting point because you know that they're already well designed, everything's laid out really good, and you can just put your content in and then go from there, where you can start tweaking it and adjusting it to make it actually fit. But it's going to get you past that initial getting started stage because you've got something to get you going. Once you're in the zone, design gets so much easier. Having boundaries is going to make you more creative. Working in a style that feels true to you is going to just flow more easily than trying to be something that you're not. And setting your own limitations and getting really clear about what your brand is communicating are all going to help you design better, and it's going to make design not feel so hard anymore. Let's do less overthinking, less fussing over design, free and loosen yourself up, try different things, walk away and come back when you need to. Have some of these different tools in your back pocket, so when you're going to design something and it's getting frustrating and nothing is working out, you've got some options and you've got some things you can do to get things moving and get yourself in a flow state and create better designs easier. And if you'd like to learn more about graphic design, branding, and using Canva, be sure to subscribe, and happy creating.